Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Loli channel. It is not my morning. I attempted to record the intro to this video twice. Somehow the file got corrupted both times, so I'm switching to my regular camera. We're gonna attempt to do this for a third time. If this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna take it as a sign that I'm not meant to record content today, or at least not makeup related content. But anyway, I figured that since we're approaching the end of the year and I've been doing a pretty good job on my low buy slash no buy slash shop my stash kick that I've been on lately, I thought why not just continue that trend. Since we are approaching the end of the year, it's gonna be 2025 before we know it, I thought why not do a little bit of reflection and look back on some of the makeup products that went viral this year, a lot of which I do happen to own and I have in front of me right here. I'm talking about that red cushion by TirTir, that blurry pudding pot by Fwee. What else? This Dior blush and highlighter compact. So I don't have the single blush. I think that one went viral first, particularly the lilac purplish color, but this one also had kind of a viral moment, especially here in Japan. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a get ready with me with all these viral products, and I'll let you know my updated thoughts on them, I guess. So unfortunately, since my footage from my first two attempts at filming got deleted, I cannot show you my foundation application because I already applied 2 layers. But as you all are probably very familiar with, this is the original TirTir Mask Fit red cushion foundation. I use the shade 21N Ivory, and the reason this is all sparkly is because it is a limited edition version from last Christmas. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, which would explain the Christmas decorations and the sparkly red case. So yeah, I already applied it on my face. Let me put it on the back of my hand just to demonstrate to you. Even though I've had this for a year, I use this sparingly because it's just not my favorite formula. First of all, it smells like soap, which for obvious reasons I'm not the hugest fan of. It doesn't like nauseate me or anything, but it's just kind of weird because if I am going to have fragrance in my makeup, or especially foundation, something that goes all over your face, I prefer it to be something more floral or just sweet scented, and this one smells like straight up soap. So yeah, that's the first thing about it that's unpleasant. Also, if I get close to the camera, I don't know, I feel like it emphasizes like the bumps and some of the less desirable texture on my skin that I would rather not get emphasized. Not that there is anything wrong with real skin texture, okay? Bring back realistic looking skin, for real. Because yeah, I'm not of the cohort that believes that you need to walk around looking like there's an Instagram filter on your face at all times, IRL. Definitely not, but I just feel like for the amount of hype that this formula gets or got throughout this past year, it should make my skin look completely perfect and smooth, and it doesn't. Like, you can very clearly see my texture, and you know, I'm lucky enough that I don't have big pores or anything like that, but again, I can't imagine that this formula would do you any favors if you do happen to have large pores or, you know, texture that you want to cover up. Although I do know that this formula is meant to be full coverage, and it also claims to last up to 72 hours, which nobody should be aiming to leave their makeup on their face for that long anyway. But I guess in certain select situations, like for example if you're taking a long international flight, okay, maybe this could come in clutch. I don't know, I still think there's better options out there. I wouldn't say that it feels super heavy necessarily, but there are other full coverage foundations out there on the market that are definitely more lightweight than this, and they are more flattering in terms of the finished, you know, effect on your skin. So yeah, I have to hand it to TirTir because they went viral worldwide, saw an opportunity and capitalized on it without hesitation, to the point where, and I think it's also really unique, especially for a Korean brand, the fact that they expanded their shade range once they saw how much attention this cushion was garnering worldwide, which is a net positive in the beauty community at large. So I will give this TirTir Original Mask Fit red cushion my seal of approval. It's just not my favorite foundation by far, and I don't think it quite lives up to all the hype that it's gotten. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. I don't have a particular palette in mind, but C Beauty, Chinese Beauty on the whole, has had such a flourishing year, especially on social media. Flower Nose might seem like the obvious choice for this category, but I figure since I already feature flower nose quite a fair bit on my channel. Today I thought I would go in with this palette by Judydoll, since Judydoll is another huge representative brand in this whole sea beauty wave that we're experiencing right now. Don't know the name off the top of my head. This is in Chinese, but I'll put it on the screen, and this is number 19, which is just kind of like a very muted lilac-y color palette. Ooh, I forgot how good this palette is. So if I can say the one thing that differentiates Chinese eyeshadows from their Korean and Japanese counterparts is the glitter or topper shades. They are typically very finely milled and very high shine, and in my experience they tend to stick better. They adhere better to your lids than a lot of Japanese and Korean formulations that I come across. Yeah, and the fact that most of them are just like super finely milled yet still maintain that high shine factor, it just really elevates your look. Like, you can be blingy and flashy but still look sophisticated at the same time using Chinese glitters. And I also think that in general, Chinese eyeshadow formulas, including just the regular mattes and satin finishes, they have better color payoff than a lot of Japanese and Korean brands. Although I will say Japanese and Korean brands are kind of catching up when it comes to the pigmentation front. But I'm talking more so across the board. I feel like those are the main selling points of Chinese eyeshadow formulas. Also, of course, the packaging and design, like the overall concepts are very unique. I feel like they bring something new to the table. Wah! Oh my god. This is a Girl Cult palette. I think Girl Cult is really known for more of that avant-garde type of artistic aesthetic. Although I'm afraid to open this palette because the blue shade crumbles a little more every single time I open it. Continuing on, I have yet another viral product from Judydoll. This is their curling iron mascara in black. Since this one originally came out, there have been a lot of other copycats that emerged on the market, but this is, I believe, the original, one of its kind. So this product I would consider actually like one of those revolutionary makeup products that comes along only once in a blue moon. Because of the design, since it doesn't have bristles that stick out, it's literally a rod with grooves in it for your lashes to fit in. It goes without saying that this type of iron mascara wand allows you to have the closest application possible to the base of your lashes, which is really helpful if you are part of the itty bitty lash committee like me, and it's even more so helpful when it comes to coating bottom lashes. Now, as much as I do find this curling iron mascara to be super innovative and kind of like something that works universally for everyone. It doesn't matter if you have bigger eyes, smaller eyes, long, thick, natural lashes, or tiny ones like me. This will work for everyone across the board. That being said though, I still have to consider my favorite mascara of all time to be the Opera My Lash tubing mascara. This one just lengthens and holds a curl like no other. And the fact that it's a tubing mascara, the fibers will continue to build upon each other the more layers that you put on. So yeah, if you really want that undeniable manga lash, like almost spidery looking eyelash effect, My Lash Opera is still the way to go. Or combine it with a curling iron mascara like I'm doing right now. Okay, so moving on to cheeks, I'm going to go ahead and dip into my Dior Rouge Blush Color and Glow. And this is the viral pink and purple color combo, 287 Dior Amour. This one does have a fragrance, but to me it smells really nice. Like dainty, fresh, floral, pretty much the opposite of the TirTir Red Cushion Foundation. So this color combo, obviously it is a very like pastel light palette. I don't know if it would necessarily show up on deeper skin tones. My skin tone already is kind of pushing it, like it barely shows up on me. I will say this is probably the most finely milled blush I own, and no matter how many layers you put on, it still remains like very thin and lightweight. Lightweight is almost an understatement. It's pretty much like not even there. So you see I'm piling it on, but it's still just giving that very subtle lit from within glow, which we love. And then I'm going to highlight over just the cheekbones with the purple. Something about this purple layered on top of this pink, it just elevates the whole, it just combines to give this very beautiful, like almost aurora-esque pearlescent glow to it, which I love. So yeah, if you want that really, really natural, really fresh looking glow from within look, you cannot go wrong with this Rouge blush palette. The only thing I will say about this formula, and this might sound kind of weird, but I don't know, I think it's a valid concern because sometimes like we do cry in our makeup, or at the very least, I know for me, and this is how I discovered this kind of drawback about the formula, but when I either cry or I'm putting in eye drops, like if my contacts are dry, sometimes the eye drop or the tear will roll down my face. And I noticed that in those instances, since this powder is so finely milled and it applies onto the skin in such a light, barely there layer, one tear, like one drop rolling down your face, it will erase whatever application of this blush that you have on your face. Like, I try to be as careful as possible, but you know, sometimes when you're in a rush and you're putting in eye drops, if I'm not careful, it'll roll down my face. I noticed that it basically erases like the path of that teardrop. Does that make sense? I don't know why I'm like struggling to describe this right now. You know what? F it. Even though I have to go out today, I am going to demonstrate this right now and ruin my makeup just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I just put a drop of the eye solution and let it roll down the middle of my cheek. Pat it dry. You see how it literally erased the blush in that line? Here, let me do it again. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it's gone. The place where the eye drop rolled down. That doesn't happen with other like heavier looking powder blushes from just regular drugstore brands. So that's one thing that I found kind of to be a drawback of this formula. I expect for something that is this expensive, yes, it's great that it goes on in such a thin layer, but at the same time it's like, why is it not capable of withstanding just a tear or two, right? I mean, we have waterproof eyeliner, waterproof mascara that withstands tears, so why does this blush not do the same thing? Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm weird because this is not a normal concern that most people would have? I don't know. I have had a pretty emotional year, so I do need to consider, like, is my makeup tear-proof at the end of the day as well? For the final step, we're gonna go in with the infamous, in my book, Fwee Lip and Cheek Blurry Pudding Pot. This one is ND04. Let me put on some lipstick base specifically for matte lipsticks. You see it's matte, but it's moisturizing. So I pretty much jumped on the bandwagon with everyone else when this brand first came out. I don't know if Fwee is a new brand altogether or if they just happened to go viral this year with their products. But yeah, if you're a makeup lover, if you're a follower of K-beauty, you definitely have seen lots of products from Fwee making the rounds. Now, as a matte lip formula, I have to say this blurry pudding pot is very impressive. As a blush color and an eyeshadow color, because you know this claims to be a multi-purpose product, nothing to write home about. As far as the matte lip formulations go though, 10 out of 10. Super lightweight, super comfortable. They have a million shades that would work for any skin tone. The only thing though is that it's super inconvenient because you need to use like a separate brush in order to apply it. And I just feel like, you know, as silly as it sounds, it's quite inconvenient to have to use a separate brush or applicator at the end of the day, because especially if you're traveling, like nobody wants to deal with having to bring a separate lip brush with you, and then, you know, then you have to worry about how to pack it and keep it clean. My solution as of late has been these disposable lipstick brushes that I got from Daiso. You can get this whole pack for 100 yen, which is great, but even so, I feel like it's such a hassle to bring two separate products just for a lip color when, you know, most lipstick and lip glosses are designed to be contained in one component, right? So yeah, Fwee pudding pots, great formula for the lips. I wouldn't elect to use these on my cheeks or my lids since I have so many other superior options. The packaging is cute, the aesthetics are very cute, but slightly inconvenient to use in real life in my opinion. And while we are on the topic of Fwee, let me just speak on some of their other items that have gone viral. I own 2 of their cushion foundations, the Fwee Cushion Glass Natural and the Fwee Cushion Egg Fit Cover. I do enjoy both of these. I might do a comparison video on these. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Like, I'll put the egg cushion on one half of my face and the glass cushion on the other half, and then I could do like a double comparison slash wear test video for both of them to see how they both break down and how it compares. But yeah, I definitely like Fwee's foundations. Actually, I like these better than anything that TirTir has ever come out with. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is the Fwee lip glosses, the 3D volumizing glosses, which I ended up disliking so much that I got rid of both shades that I had. In the beginning, I got very excited about those, just like everyone else. I was super on board, but then as time wore on, I don't know, it just felt like a very cheap product to me overall, which is a common complaint that I have about a lot of K-beauty brand lip glosses or lip products. The candy-like scent, while it's not unpleasant, it just got old after a while, and yeah, ultimately I realized that it was quite a cheap smelling scent. Also too sticky at the end of the day. There's so many better glosses out there, especially in the Japanese beauty market, that are able to hold a shine without being sticky and gloopy. So case in point, this one by Vise, which is called the Essence Lip Plumper. This formula is more what I'm looking for when it comes to any type of gloss or lip plumper. It's glossy and plumping without being super sticky, and I like the way that it fills out the fine lines in my lips. The only thing is that it doesn't have an eye-catching, the only thing is that it doesn't have an eye-catchy, artsy looking design like the Fwee lip gloss, so that's why it's not as viral. But yeah, that's my unpopular opinion about the Fwee lip glosses, along with my unpopular one about the TirTir Mask Fit cushion. Okay, if I had to pick a favorite TirTir cushion, it would probably be this one, the Crystal Mesh cushion. I don't use this one that often because the shade match is a little bit off. This is more like my summer color, 23N Sand. But yeah, this one has my favorite finish out of everything in the TirTir cushion line. It's like dewy, glass skin, full coverage to boot. The only reason that I don't wear this more often, and this is totally because of personal preference and personal, skin issues, but if I'm gonna be outside for 8+ hours, which is usually the case when I put on a full face of makeup, I'm wary of using this foundation or anything that's super dewy, to be honest with you, because my T-zone area in particular can very quickly devolve into an oily mess. It may start off as this beautiful glowy dewy glass skin, but trust and believe by the end of the day it's gonna be an oily mess. No matter how many times I blot away with my oil absorbing sheets, I just feel like I always end up looking an oily hot mess at the end of the day, which is why I gravitate towards more mattifying or clingy type foundations, if that makes sense, if I'm going to be wearing makeup for an 8-hour plus long day. But yeah, those are just some of the viral products of 2024 that I wanted to revisit before the end of the year. Have you tried any of them before? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye!